I'm going to start streaming this, which I don't understand why, but anyway. So just bear with me 2 seconds. And it comes. I'm going to start. Right, here we go. Stream. Here we go. Right.
Hello again.
Right. Okay. Where am I? Stuff. Yeah. Okay. Got it. Ah, Echo. Oh, there you are, Sandra. Okay.
Hello.
Right. So, so where should we start? So, Sandra, how are you? What have you been up to?
I'm very tired today. Yes.
Yeah?
Thank you. And you?
Well, I'm also extremely tired. I think it's the time of year.
We are tired.
Yeah. So have you been doing anything?
No, just working. I'm waiting for the Easter holidays.
Are you going to do
counting
anything?
the days like the children?
Are you going to do anything special at Easter?
Oh, I think that I'm going to see a friend. But I haven't planned anything yet.
You haven't planned anything yet? Okay.
Not yet, no. I'm planning at the last minute.
Okay. Okay. What about you, Christina? You got anything planned for Easter?
Not yet, but I hope to relax myself and have enough time to finish some books that I'm reading.
Which books are you
because I love reading, but I need the time to read.
Which books are you reading?
During these days, I'm reading Flowers from Ash, Fiori dalla cenere. It's
Flowers from the Ashes.
From the Ashes.
Yeah, or from Ashes, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
It's about, it's like a historic romance.
Okay.
In the past, during the World War, from the First to the Second World War.
Okay.
It's interesting.
Is this an Italian author or?
No, it's not an Italian author, but I'm reading it in Italian language, of course.
Okay. It's just. And is it good?
Yes. I like how this female writer is maintaining the suspense along the book. So very nice. It's an intriguing story.
Okay. So is it like a mystery or is it a?
Just a bit, because she just gave some hints. Then she continues the story of the book, but during it's a big book, you know. And for instance, at the middle of the book, you find some characters that you have encountered at the beginning. So
okay,
interesting.
Good stuff. What about you, Beatrice?
I'm reading. You mean?
No. Just well, if you're reading any books or if you're planning anything for Easter.
For Easter, or probably I'd like to go to Poland, even if it's not a very good moment. But I have a son over there. He's studying, so
what's he studying? If you don't mind me asking.
Pilot. He wants to become a pilot. So there is a very good school over there. And if he doesn't come here, I go there.
Okay.
Also a cheap flight. Nobody wants to go to Poland.
Well, yeah, it is a rather difficult situation, I think. So are you reading any books at the moment, or?
Yes, I'd like to suggest this book is Isla Berta.
Mhm.
Oh no, Berta Isla. I'm so sorry. Berta Isla is the name of the wife.
The name of the
wife of the main character, Berta Isla.
Oh,
and
okay.
the author is Javier Marias. Is a Spanish author. It's a very good one. It's about a spying story. It's not a thriller at all. The plot is very intriguing and complicated, but it's
no, I don't have time for that sort of stuff. I just can't. If the plots get too complicated, I just switch off.
Extremely complicated.
My wife watches it and reads a lot of crime stories, the Gialli.
Gialli, I love.
I've got absolutely no patience for it at all. It's just like a stream of consciousness. I just, it's like, oh, who's that? And I'm watching it. I've been watching it for an hour and a half, and I still haven't worked out who's done what.
But the reason why it's great reading, I think. Yeah. Okay, what sort of book do you like reading?
Right. Okay. Well, my wife would say I'm a little bit particular because I either read technical books, or but that's just because I'm just innately curious, or I will occasionally pick up an author and read maybe three, 4, 5 books by that author in one go, and then that's it.
Okay, so
the last stuff that I really got into was about a year ago. Was Murakami.
Murakami, yes.
Which, but it's very stream of consciousness sort of stuff. So it's just so totally weird.
It's not very linear. Okay.
Yeah. But I started reading his last one, and then I thought, no, hold on a minute, he hasn't finished it because there's Killing Commendatore. There's going to be another one, so I'll wait until he publishes the second one before I finish this one, I think. So I'll start it again at some point.
But you are sure that author, you like that author, and you go through that way. So I usually do the same. Yeah. I found that author that I like, I go with that.
I think it's you get into like the way that particular person expresses things, and of course this is a reading in translation, and so the translations obviously, and particularly from something like Japanese, it's
probably
they have to be done really, really well, because otherwise I think it's probably just comes across fairly ordinary. But I think the guys it's a couple of American professors who do these translations.
Do you read the English version?
I think the turns of phrase, even in English, are just completely weird. So it's I think they capture the sense of the thing. So okay, that's so you might be going to Poland. What about you, Barbara? Any plans for Easter? Microphone.
I don't have any plans now.
No?
Easter, no. Maybe I'll have some work at home or I relax. But I'm not going anywhere.
Okay. Are you since we're talking about books, a little bit about books today, are you reading anything?
No, I'm reading La Coscienza di Zeno, but it is challenging. I want to finish it. I just want, because sometimes I would like to throw it out of the window. I decide, and then maybe a Sherlock Holmes, but it is in Italian.
your comment about Coscienza di Zeno, it reminds me of what my wife said about.
Why did I choose it? Why was I curious?
What my wife said about Crime and Punishment, Dostoevsky. She said it was a crime that he wrote it, and it was a punishment to read it.
But the punishment is for me because I chose to read it.
Yeah, but anyway. So anyway, yeah. So I think obviously, if you have to do it for your students, I'm thinking about it's like James Joyce, isn't it? The Ulysses.
Yeah.
Dubliners is okay. Dubliners is okay. I've read that.
Yes, the other one you're right.
I think it was Ulysses, which is the one which is really.
Yeah, right. The Dubliners is okay. No,
because it's short stories. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yes, I meant the other one. Ulysses.
Yeah.
It is impossible to read.
Yeah, the other one which I just couldn't get my head around was William Faulkner. You ever read William Faulkner? Bloody hell! That was just.
Well,
hard reading.
I want to find out some English book to read. Oh, no, it is not mine. Because I have one. I have a book that is called The Second Sleep. You know, by Robert Harris.
I'm sort of fairly ignorant about books, to be honest with you.
Maybe now I can understand that book because I knew this author because he wrote a book about Pompeii. It was a really fascinating history. When because there is the story of the volcano, the Vesuvius, and there is also a small love story. But it is the main thing. The main thing is the engineer who is in charge of the aqueduct and investigates on some strange things that happened. And when I found a book from the same author, I said, okay, that's my author. And I bought The Second Sleep. But it is strange because it is settled in 1468, so the Middle Ages, okay? But it is not the Middle Ages because you can find glasses, plastic, whatever. So I had to read it in Italian.
Okay, yeah. So it might be one of those.
But it is strange because it is after an apocalypse.
Yeah, I was going to say,
things are happening now. I think maybe if I read this book, I can understand it. Because it is just in the future. This topic novel, it could be what could be happen in the future after a big war, after an apocalypse, that everything comes as if it was in the past. So a priest does that travels on horseback, and at the same time he finds some plastic bags with any rubbish in it. Maybe I can understand it now. So I'm trying to read it again.
Okay. Yeah. So thanks, Barbara. What about Stefania? You're not visible, but maybe you're there. Maybe, or maybe you're just listening.
Yeah. Would you like to know? Yeah. Would you like to know what I'm reading these days?
Yeah. Do you have your video, or you decided?
No, I don't want to make me visible today.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
No, I'll tell you the truth. I'm a COVID patient, so I prefer listening today and just talk for a while. But I'm reading a book by Dandini, Serena Dandini.
Okay,
it is the catalog of courageous women Catalogo delle donne valorose. I've had it for 2 years, I think, but I've never read it. So now it's the right time to read it.
Okay. And is it good?
Well, it's just some portraits of some courageous women in the history, for example, from just I have a look now. What's this? For example, we have Ilaria Alpi, contemporary women, but also old figures. For example, Vanessa Bell, another Angela Davis, and so some very different women from different cultures. But it is quite interesting so far. Yeah,
that's good. Do you prefer reading sort of more factual books, or do you prefer more stories?
But I prefer novels. In general, novels, yeah. But this was a book that was a present, so now I'm trying to read it. For example, I've read when I came back, Quando tornerò by Balzano. It is a story. It's a half reality story, half invented. But I usually prefer novels, and also romantic novels. Romances. Yeah, sometimes.
Okay. So I'll tell you what. I'm going to go around the table and I just ask favorite book. So what's your favorite book? Do you have a favorite book, Stefania?
A favorite? The best of all books I've ever read is, I think, Wuthering Heights, and also Gone with the Wind. Story of Rossella O'Hara and so on.
Yeah. Is it Margaret Mitchell?
Very good novel. Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Sandra? Favorite book? Do you have a favorite book? Microphone.
Yes. I don't know. There are many. I like very much Don Quixote.
Okay. Okay. What about you, Christina?
I like poems as well.
You like poems as well? Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Christina?
For me, it's difficult to choose because I really love reading a lot of the books, and I also try different kind of books. So for me, it's like a challenge, but even it's something to, how can I say, satisfy my curiosity. So I can try to read really different kind of books, and sometimes even some books in English language.
Yeah, which is, I mean, it's a great way to build vocabulary.
Yes.
Well, again, it does depend on what you're reading, of course, but it's a good way of building vocabulary.
For instance, last year I was preparing for my C1 certification. So I've read some books in English. It was books related to the level C1. They were really very interesting because they also had the CD. So for me, it was very nice listening to the audio. I loved the story and even the listening about these books. So it was a nice experience. But I can sometimes read even books without audio library in English. Well, there are some parts for me a bit difficult, but as I said before, it's a challenge for me, so I accept it. And I wanted to finish everything.
Yeah. Okay, right. Okay. So what about you, Beatrice? Do you have a favorite book or?
Favorite book? I love Latin American books like Marquez, Fuentes, all of that stream. I love
all of that weird stuff.
Well, no, it's not weird. I love plot, very complicated plot, a lot of names, a lot of families, all of that. Yes, but I love American too, American literature. I love it. Yes, like Hemingway. I love, let me think about, yes, all that part. And I love Joyce too. But you're right. Dubliners, I found Dubliners extremely interesting. Yes, but not the other one that you mentioned.
Yeah, Ulysses.
I don't remember.
It's just a.
Yes, it was difficult. Yes, the clone of
the bridge too far.
Yeah, too much for me. You're right. Yeah. And okay. And you just technical books, so you don't have
any... well, no. I mean, I wouldn't say that I would have a favorite technical.
It's difficult favorite. Very difficult to
but I think my favorite book is actually one which I read sort of quite a long time ago, but every so often I dig it out. It's Fahrenheit 451.
Yes, of course, Fahrenheit.
Yes. But I, whenever I think about it, I always think of the Truffaut film as well, because the film was actually very, very faithful.
Very strong, yes.
But the language, I love the. I mean, Bradbury's.
The language, yes.
It's the descriptions of the tone of the thing, and you feel the.
Right.
You feel the time of the. It's an autumn book.
Yes.
Yeah, I just like the way he describes stuff, and it's. But anyway, yeah. So, what about you, Valentina? Do you have a? Are you reading anything?
Can you hear me first?
Yes.
Okay. So I love Joyce as well, or also Dostoevsky. Or Pessoa, maybe they are my favorite three authors. I don't know which book exactly, but maybe the O Libro da Doce Sossego, how can I say in English, the Inquietudine, how can I say, not quite less book, the quite less book, maybe.
Who's the author?
Is Pessoa.
Yes,
Portuguese.
Pessoa. Okay, yes. He's a Portuguese guy. Let me just have a check, because you see, sometimes
maybe I can write in English.
The translations of books, translations of titles can be a bit.
I hear you quite badly because I'm at school, and now there's the.
Okay, right. Okay.
And there's a concert downstairs. So okay.
Yeah, it's called The Book of Disquiet.
Disappoint. Oh.
Disquiet. The Book of
Disquiet. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That should sound well, because it's unquietness or quietness. Maybe this one, or Dostoevsky as well. The White Knight was a good novel. Or.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Sorry for delay, but I'm at school.
No, it's okay. You've got a
9 o'clock today.
It sounds like you're in an echo chamber.
Can I say since or from? I'm at school since 9 o'clock today.
Yeah, I'm at school since 9 o'clock this morning. Yeah.
But since is correct, as well as from.
Yeah. I think I would use since in this case, because it's from a time in the past, so it's coming forward. Yeah. So I
try to switch off the stereo, because I don't know what is worse.
Okay, right, Barbara, what do you what would you say about a favorite book? Do you have a favorite book?
Well, I love reading biographies. and novels that have an historical background.
Okay, okay. So you like
Not
historical
just
type.
love stories. He
Yeah,
likes her, but she doesn't, and they suffer. Oh, no, I will burn that book. No, I would like to burn the book and the author.
Yeah, okay.
But when I can read a book that has a historical background, you can put whatever you want.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it is life, of course. But I prefer biographies.
Okay. Is there a biography in particular that you've enjoyed reading?
No, it is a long time, but maybe I read about I don't know. Well, I read about Garibaldi. I read about your son. I read about I don't know, whatever.
Okay. Yeah. Just lots and lots of people from the past.
Lots of people, because I love that.
Okay, that's good. And I see Martha's joined us. Are you there? Hello.
Good evening, Gordon.
Good evening. So you're just joining us by audio today.
Repeat, please.
You're just joining us by audio and not video.
Yes, I prefer so.
Okay, no, it's fine. It's okay. It's okay.
Your choice.
Yeah, it's fine. Sorry, the names are moving around the screen again. So it's okay. So Martha, do you have any sort of particular books that you're reading at the moment?
I don't read much. I don't read much during the pandemic.
Okay.
During pandemic. Last book that I remember, maybe a book, an English book, but not remember.
But you don't remember what it was?
Yes. Forse Judge and Prejudice.
Okay, it's a Pride and Prejudice.
Yeah, Judge.
Yeah, okay. Is it Jane Austen? Yes.
Yes, Jane Austen.
Okay. Yeah, you see the thing that stuff. I just if I had to, I'd watch the film.
Yes.
But it's not really. That's not really my scene. So. Okay, that's good. So I don't know.
I cannot hear you anymore.
You cannot hear me anymore. It must be your signal, because I think nothing here has changed. Christina, you can still hear me? Yes. Christina, can you hear me?
I can hear you, so probably it's hair problems about the connection.
Nothing.
Sometimes it's better to go out and come back again.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. So that's right. What I thought we'd have a look at today. I mean, again, it's just going through some of these things about in the talking task, but of course also it's useful in general just to be able to let's say pick up on some ideas for whether you're writing your sort of your essay or whatever. But what I thought we'd do today is we'd have a look at some more of the talking task, and I'm just going to share my screen here. Now which one is it? It must be, I think it's this one.
Sorry, I cannot hear you.
Okay.
Some minutes.
Right. Okay. I'm sorry, sir. Valentin, you're going to have to maybe. Let me just see. Okay. So sometimes changing the connection can work, can give you can be better. Okay. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay. Right. So I think one of the things which people find maybe a little bit awkward to do is when you're sort of using natural language to compare and contrast. Okay, I'll tell you what, I just realized I should put this on the chat. So if you can just bear with me 2 seconds, I'll just send these notes over so you've got this. Okay, so you should be able to see this now. The problem with these phrases is that you don't necessarily use them all the time every day. So it's the sort of thing which is to do with the level. It's no longer just, okay. No, I'm sorry, Valentina. There's nothing much we can really do. Okay, so this, if we look at these phrases here, what you've got is you've got things like what strikes me about the first picture. Okay, what strikes me about qualcosa che mi colpisce. Okay, this picture reminds me of. Okay, judging from the photo, looking at the photo, the children, yeah, appears to be something. Okay, from what we can see here, there are many similarities. Okay, represent, depict. Okay, so there's quite a lot of, let's say, expressions that you can use to introduce let's say the idea of comparing the photos, and not necessarily just saying, oh, in this picture we can see this, and in this picture we can see that. Okay, so the point is that this is extra vocabulary. This is the sort of vocabulary that you would be expected to come up with at this sort of level. Okay, so the C level. I just thought what we might do is we might do a little bit of sort of thinking about this, and I don't know whether you're able to. Actually, I'll tell you what I will do. Let me try something. So let me just try something here. Slideshow, set up slideshow. I need to go into the window. Okay, fine, and that can go. That and that can go just like that. Hold on 2 seconds. I'll be with you in a minute. This is the. Now this one may or may not actually work. Just see if I can make that a little bit bigger.
Finally, I started to hear you again just now.
Well, you haven't really missed. You haven't missed much because I've just been rambling. So, okay, let me just share, and I'm going to share screen too. So hopefully you will see this. Okay, so, okay, right. So what I've tried to pull this open so that it's visible. Okay, I'll just move that a little bit like that, make it as big as I can. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to some photos. Okay, so can you see both of the things now? Yeah, can you see the phrases? Yeah, okay. So, because the idea is that, can you think about how you could use these, maybe a couple of these phrases with a couple of these photos, okay? Now, I'm not going to let you do it cold because that's not fair, because it will be better because I want you to see if you can sort of pick up a couple of these things to take away with you. Can you, just as an exercise for a couple of minutes, can you just see how you could possibly adapt these, a couple of these phrases, just choose 3 or 4, to these pictures here, how you would, if you're presented with these pictures, okay? Yeah? Is that right? È chiaro cosa fare? Is it clear what to do? Yes?
Sento poco e male, quindi...
Okay, I'm sorry, Valentina, there's not much we can do.
No, I know, it's not your
fault. It's the signal.
Yeah. But we just need to read these expressions and to try to use those.
Yeah, if you can,
describing the image.
If you can sort of, yeah, if you can think about how you would use, maybe take 4 or 5 of these and just how you would apply them to,
Okay.
if you were given this, for example, if you were given this this set of photos. Okay, so this is about, this says, what is it? Compare the settings and say how the student may be feeling. It's the usual stuff. Okay, so I'll give you a couple of minutes just to do that. Okay, so, and then I'll come back and ask for some examples. Just 1 second. Okay, right. Okay, so let's just have a look. So, Christina, do you have a couple of examples?
Well, all the pictures are interesting, but the last one gives a stronger idea of the pleasure of studying with a friend, laying on the grass next to a tree inside the nature atmosphere. And you can realize how you can improve your knowledge if you are with a friend in a very relaxing way on a sunny day, without all the rumors or some noises, for instance, in the traffic.
Okay, yeah, just be careful with rumors.
Noises, sorry.
Yeah, noises. Yeah. Rumors are a voci.
It's a different, yes, it's a different, it has got a different meaning.
Yeah, okay. They're false, definitely false friend.
Yes, it's a false friend, yeah.
Definitely a false friend. Okay, yeah, good. What about you, Sandra? Did you have a,
Yes, I think that, as she said, all pictures are interesting.
No, hold on a minute, Sandra. What I want you to do is I want you to try and use some of this language here.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the idea. So it was to be able to, let's say, to take this, for example, here. Okay, I'm looking at, it's judging from the photo, just judging from the photograph.
So,
I'd say these two girls are it looks like they're in a science lab.
yes.
Yeah, it's that type of thing. Okay.
Okay. Yes, judging from the photograph, the girls are doing like some work in the lab, and they seem to enjoy a lot what they are doing.
Yeah, they seem to be enjoying what they're doing.
They seem to be enjoying what they are doing, and comparing with the second one, the second picture is a bit like a more formal set of education. And this picture, the second picture reminds me of my years at the university.
Yeah, okay, no, that's good. Because yeah, this picture reminds me of good. Well done. Great. Okay, Beatrice, you got some ideas?
Okay, I'm going to take some expressions. What strikes me about the first picture is the fact that the two girls are very happy and they are something great for them. It's a pleasure to see them enjoying this science lab. And this picture reminds me when I used to go to school and had great fun with my friends, my classmates, and judging from the photograph, all these children are studying in different ways. The picture in a cooperative learning, the second one, it probably is a frontal, how do you say, at a university?
It's like a lecture. It looks like a lecture.
University, and probably the last one, they are enjoying, they are sharing the same book and they are enjoying their, in the open air, these
yeah, okay, right, okay, so that's one thing that I wanted to point out. We don't use the article, the nature.
The nature.
Okay? It's going to be the nature of something, the nature of the beast. Okay, but that's something completely different. Yeah, la natura di qualcosa. Okay, but that's as the thing actually is. So you just say nature, or I think better in this case is open air. Yeah. Outdoors. Yes.
Yeah. What's a lecture, please? Do you
lecture?
Yeah.
It's this situation. It's when you have, there'll be the professor standing here and going blah, 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 blah. and these guys are all sort of sitting there listening.
Okay,
That's,
so when there's a big audience, and maybe, how do you say in aula magna?
Well, that's just a lecture hall, a lecture theatre.
Okay.
So this would be, it could be a large audience, it could be a small audience, but it's like a formal presentation.
It's like a conferenza, maybe something similar.
Yes, sort of ish, but it's more like the guy turns up, does the stuff, and goes away, and that's it. Yeah,
A lecture.
Yeah, it's a lecture. Yeah.
Gordon, excuse me. I only wanted to say goodbye to you and to the other people because I couldn't connect today, but I think next Thursday is a holiday. I don't know.
Yeah, it is a holiday next Thursday. Yes.
So I only wanted to not to disturb, but a few minutes to say goodbye to everybody. See you.
And happy Easter.
Happy Easter. Happy Easter. Are you going to come in after Easter? Are you going to come
Yeah,
back?
of course.
Okay.
But these days I couldn't. Sorry. So
no. It's well, actually, Emanuela. Last week we had to abandon the lesson because no one could get in.
Okay. I'm sorry, but these days are terrible for me.
Yeah, I know.
But I just wanted to say goodbye.
Okay.
Bye,
okay,
everybody.
Bye.
Sorry.
Have a good Easter. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
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 Okay. Okay. Yeah. Barbara, do you want to try something here?
The second picture reminds me of the university too, and I don't remember it as a very, very relaxing period in my life, and maybe. And comparing to the first one, it is a very different way of learning and of course teaching, because the two girls maybe are in a science lab and they are doing some experiments, so they are learning from the experience.
Yeah, you could actually say they're learning by doing. It's almost like almost like a phrase, yeah. Well, it is a phrase.
Way. And the second is more theoretical.
Yeah, theoretical.
Theoretical, okay.
Yeah.
And so it is very different. You have to be prepared. You have to have a wider knowledge and the competence for what you want to learn. And the two girls may have the guide of a teacher that supervises them.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's okay. What about you, Valentina? Do you want to say something here? I don't know whether you can.
Yeah, not so much more, because the most has been said already.
Okay.
But
okay, I'll tell you what we'll do. I've got some other things here. So I'll give you a couple of minutes to think about this. And again, remember that the idea is to try and take a couple of these phrases and apply them to how you would talk about.
I mean, I can do, but I'm going to repeat the same other people said. For instance, this image reminds me.
Yeah, but that's fine. But that's fine. That's fine, because that's the point. That's the point, because it's a. If you take these are expressions which people use to describe things. Okay, so
maybe can you please enlarge a bit, because can you zoom?
That might be a little bit difficult.
Okay, because maybe this PC is very bad. So.
Yeah, it's I can zoom to an extent. Okay. Okay.
So I can say the first picture. Okay, they are new. Okay. So
yeah, these
are new pictures. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I'll tell you what. Okay, I'll tell you what, let's do it this way, Valentina. I'll give you a couple of minutes, everyone a couple of minutes, just to think about what they would say. And then we'll talk about these pictures in a more general sense, trying to bring in some of these expressions. Okay, so I'll give you a few minutes just to think about what you might, what's happening and what you might say, and then we'll do the exercise. Is that okay? Yeah,
I found how to Zoom by myself.
Okay.
Very happy.
Right. Okay.
At least I can see something.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So just about 2 minutes. That's all, and then we'll have a discussion. Just two seconds. I need to go get something. Okay. Right. Okay.
So I try. So at least I do immediately. So what strikes me about the three pictures is that all the pictures represent individual sports, like individual competition. For instance, the first one is a one-by-one run, I mean a race, so only one person is fighting, is not a team match. And the second,
it's not a team event, yeah.
Yeah, and the same for the second one, because everyone is with his own car. How do you say go-kart? How do you
it's a go-kart.
Go-kart, okay. And so, or maybe they can be two in one team, maybe, but no more. So it's not a team competition. And the third one as well, because tennis is like one or couple team. So this is the first consideration.
Yeah, it's clearly an individual tennis game, isn't it?
And the woman appears to be very happy, very satisfied with her goal she achieved. How do you say achieve? Achieve? How do you say in English?
Sorry?
This verb, how do you pronunciate it?
Which verb? Sorry.
This.
Okay. Achieve.
Okay, so it was so she's very happy for the goal she achieved, or she's achieving maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
I think there are some similarities among the three, is what I just said. And
yeah, Okay, no,
maybe
that's
the
fine.
first one, maybe the first one gives more the idea of outdoor sport, so something in contact with nature.
Contact with nature without the article. Excellent.
Yes,
okay, yeah.
of course.
Okay.
While the rest is more artificial, like anthropic landscape. I mean, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, this is clearly a completely artificial tennis court, and this is a racing circuit. So, okay, yeah, that's fine. That's good because again, you don't have to use all of them, but if you can bring in judging from the first photograph, I say that this lady is quite happy. She's maybe she's winning. But maybe it's actually it could be a charity event, but she's just happy to be taking part, and that she's actually managed, or she's managing to achieve her aim of finishing the run.
Yeah,
that type of thing. Okay. Christina, do you want to would you add anything, or would you do something different?
Well, even if all the pictures depict about outdoor activities.
Okay, no, depict. You don't need the about. Just depict.
Okay.
Just depict something, or show.
When you give it a closer look, it reveals that in the first one and in the third photograph, you can see activities using the body, only the muscles. But in the second one, whereas in the second one, they use the power of a machine. So the ability is related to how to guide a machine, but not how to use the power of your body.
That's interesting. That's an interesting observation, actually. I've never really sort of thought about it like that. Yeah. Okay. That's good.
It was an effort to use a lot of useful expressions.
How could you say, Gordon, that in the first case, in the first image, the person uses her body itself as a instrument?
Uses. Okay, so you could say.
While in the other two, the instrument is the car or the racket.
Well, actually, in the third one, I think the racket doesn't do any. Well, neither does the car. They don't do anything on their own. But it's interesting because, if you like, the tennis is halfway between these two. This is purely the body. This is the body and the racket.
Yeah.
This is more, let's say, the brain and the machine.
The machine, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So you sort of.
The same happens when I think about music. If you sing, you use your proper body. While if you use to play an instrument, your body has to be connected with that external instrument.
Yeah.
And this is the same, I think. Something similar.
Yeah, so I mean, you could say that in the first picture the runners are using their bodies as instruments to run.
The body itself is the only one instrument.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. No, that's fine. That's good. Okay, so why do you think these people might be taking part in this competition? So remember, I mean, here what we've been doing is we've been using these photographs as an excuse to try and think about some phrases. But remember that the actual thing is to answer the question that you're given. So if you think about these different photographs, you look at them. Why might the people be taking part in this competition?
I don't read the questions. Oh.
Yeah, it is. I'll tell you. I'll make it just a little bit bigger.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so there it says, why might people be taking part in this competition?
Mm.
Does this look like a really competitive situation in the first photograph?
Not so much, really.
no.
Maybe something
No.
like you said, like something like charitable.
Yeah, it looks like
setting.
some sort of a charity run or something, doesn't it? This guy, these guys here look a bit sort of middle-aged.
Yeah.
So, what about these guys? What about these go-kart guys? What do you think? Why might they be taking part in this competition here?
This could also be a meeting among friends. Maybe some friends who goes to have a match. How can I say no match? Have a race.
Have a race.
And go kart. Yeah. So it's leisure activity, maybe in this case.
Okay. What about this guy?
Mm.
Beatrice, what do you think?
It's a very important tennis tournament, like Wimbledon. Look at how many people are there to see the match, the tournament. Probably the players want to reach a big prize or big degree, not degree, big. How can I say in tennis tournament? Achieve a great posizione. How can I say in tennis?
They might be competing for a place in the rankings, the tennis rankings. Yeah.
But probably it's very important.
Yeah, this one looks like an open or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah, an open. Which is a
like Wimbledon, like in Paris, they have the very important one. I'm not very fond of tennis, but
neither am I. Neither am I, to be honest.
I know the technical language. Okay. Yes, I think it's different from the previous one, from the runners. The runners are happy and they are not competitive at all. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this looks like a professional setup.
Professional, right.
Yeah. Okay, no, that's good. Okay, and yeah, here is it. Then the next question. I think this is actually quite an easy topic, because I think you can say quite a lot about this. But how important might it to be for them to win? So if we look in the first one, how important is it that she wins?
Not too much.
No, I think she's probably happy that she's survived. She's survived and she's got around it.
Do you say the important is to participate? Do you say
the important thing is to participate. To take part. Okay. What about these guys? Important.
Very important.
How important do you think it is?
Extremely important.
Well, yeah, because this could be this is the stuff of, if it's a group of friends, it's the stuff which fuels conversations for the next God knows how many years, isn't it? Oh, do you remember when we? Yeah.
Maybe here is very important, but just to have fun. Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, it's all within a fun context, whereas this is, I think, this is more, let's say, tennis rankings, serious money, and etc.
Professional.
Yeah, it's professional stuff. So,
Gordon, please, how do you say translate by yourself or just translate yourself? Is it incorrect to put
hold on. What do you mean? Translate. What do you mean?
Because today I gave homework to my pupils and I say, please try to translate by yourselves. So it was good by or without by? I mean by yourself.
Okay, yeah. Okay, now I understand.
Without help.
No, just translate it yourselves. Translate it yourselves.
By yourself is incorrect.
by yourself.
Like if I say that's translated
I think I would just say just translate it yourself. I wouldn't put the by in, but I don't know whether that's because it doesn't sound too incorrect, but that could be an old form. Yeah, which is sort of
because I think
forming.
like translated by me, you know, like something ancient.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I don't think I'd put the by in, but that's just me. Okay. Right. Okay. I'll tell you what. I'm going to. Okay. So we've had a look at these photos. I wanted to have a quick look at this as well, which is this isn't about getting you to actually sit down and write something now, but it's to think about sort of getting some ideas about when you have to do the writing task, you have to put down something between, well, around about 250 words, okay? And there's always a sort of like a, let's say, context to this, and the one of the things that they may ask about is writing a report. So if you're going to do something like this, and this is an example, what sort of things would you write? What sort of things would you put down? Okay. Now, I think the important thing, the main thing here is to remember the sandwich or the burger, which is you have an introduction, then you have the burger, and then you have the conclusion. Okay. Yeah. Now, we don't usually eat burgers, but vertically. Okay. But if you can imagine doing it that way, so you've got the two things. Yeah. Or a sandwich if you prefer a tramezzino. Yeah. But the question here will be, how would you start? How would you introduce the topic? What points would you say about the questions, the individual questions that are listed here? And I think there are 3 of them. Okay, so what factors affect this decision in the country? To what extent has the proportion of young people choosing to go straight into work changed? And what developments in society have influenced this? Maybe we have actually, because with okay, ciao Beatrice.
Bye everybody. Thank you.
Okay,
Steve.
bye. Okay.
Bye. Happy Easter.
Bye. Okay, ciao. Okay, so maybe we have, because it may be something which I'd forgotten that we introduced or we didn't. I can't remember. So, but thinking about it in the context of an introduction and a couple of points that you would say, if you just have some ideas what you would actually put down here, okay, and then how would you conclude it? Just 1 second. Non vai? Ah, okay. Okay.
Do you hear the music? Imagine.
No. No.
Just the concerts downstairs for peace.
No, we can't hear. I can't hear anything extra. So maybe the microphone is very directional.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
Okay. I just want to look. Okay, is that I am? Okay. Right.
Excuse me, Gordon, please, could you repeat what do we have to do?
Okay, no, it's okay. Can you think about how you would introduce this? What sort of introduction you would do?
Okay.
What things? What a couple of points that you might sort of mention for each of the questions, and then how would you conclude it?
So we have to do the introduction and the conclusion.
Yeah, and maybe give some thought, but I'm not asking you to write it now. I'm asking you to think about what you would say.
Yeah, how to.
Okay, yeah. So maybe make a note of something. Not sure. I'll tell you what. Since we don't have a lot of time left, I would actually suggest that we make a start on it just to see what people have got. So, Sandra, how would you introduce this?
Teenagers at some point have to make a big decision. Continue studying or work.
Okay.
I don't know how to continue.
Well, okay. So no. So what? Okay. So some suggestions from around the group. How could you take that forward? I think that's a good way to start, because it summarizes the situation. What would you say next, Christina? How would you link this to what you're going to say in the meet?
Well, I've just thought about the beginning and the end.
Okay.
Would you like that I continue, or?
Yeah, I'm actually asking in general. Okay, if anyone can help take the thing which Sandra has introduced, which is it's the statement about teenagers having to make a choice. How can you link that statement to developing your report? Okay.
Nowadays, for teens, there are a lot of factors that affect or can affect this important decision of their life. Most of the time, it depends about what possibilities are in your country or the area where you live.
Okay.
This could be a link.
It depends on.
Yeah, it depends on. Yes, depends on.
Depends on.
Okay.
I think that the answer is in their family background, and in their has to be found in their family background, and in their skills at school. Because if they come from a educated family, it is more likely that they go on with their study and maybe go to a university and will have a job, a more important, but it is not the right word, a more important job. And if they aren't so good at school, or if their family does not consider important
education,
maybe they can start working.
Okay, yeah, okay. So this, I mean, this is fine. Remember that what we're looking for is we're looking for making a flow from the start through to the end. Okay, and you'll be looking for a couple of factors. So you've talked about family, you've talked about education, you've talked about let's say context. Okay, the next question is about how this proportion of young people choosing to go into work or go to university has changed over recent time. And then it's asking about causes. Okay, so I think the important thing here is that we're able to identify a couple of points for each of these, and it's really important to make sure that you answer or that you put in something about everything, each one of these. Okay, whether it's just a phrase or two phrases, it's really important that you put in something about each of these, and then that you close it off with some sort of conclusion. Okay, so in summary, I don't know, Valentina, have you thought about a possible conclusion?
It's like, because I was listening to music, but okay.
Okay.
It was very, very okay. I think that as many of us pupils of your course are teachers, maybe we have to quarrel with this big choice that our students has to make. And yes, this is just the range of the age of our pupils, maybe, or students. So I think that school could also help them to make this big decision. And of course, their family influence this choice, but also maybe the teachers, because professor could advise or could suggest them which are the best fields in which they could have. How could you say essere portati?
Yeah, which they could pursue, or the best subjects that they, or the subjects that they are best adapted to, or the areas that they are best adapted to.
Could you write this sentence?
Yeah. Okay.
Like, for instance, tu sei portato per instance. I think you are. You have the.
Okay, I'll put it in a positive. I think.
Gordon?
Yeah. I think you are best suited to, or you're best adapted to. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I have made this sort of conclusion. In conclusion, we all know that's not an easy decision when you are young, how to make this big choice. But it's important to follow your skills.
No, that's fantastic. And if I can say something, Christina, I know this. Sorry, I know it sounds stupid, but by saying "in conclusion," you've said this is the conclusion. Okay, and I know it sounds really obvious, but that is, you need to put that because it's clear. You've finished the meat of the sandwich and of the burger, and now you're on the bread at the bottom. Okay, yeah. It's just another, let's say, it's just another flag. It's just another signal when you're writing that what's happening. Okay.
Okay. I have to leave. Bye bye.
Okay. Right. In fact, actually, it's
bye bye.
33.
Yeah,
okay.
it's half past 7, so I'll say goodbye to everybody now.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Could you
Bye
say
bye. Thank you.
which is the difference between by the end and by the way? Because I never understood.
Okay, no. Okay. So by the way.
What does it mean?
Okay, by the way, is something that you're going to add. Okay. È qualcosa che aggiungi. Okay. So, by the way, did you hear about? Hai sentito? Okay. By the end, alla fine. Okay.
Yes. When you say in conclusion, like for instance, Christina said, I could say by the end.
Just use the phrase in conclusion, or to conclude, or to sum up. Okay. Because
by the end is more for a novel when it's finished. So
it's by the end of this process you will have obtained such and such a thing. Okay. To conclude, to sum up, in summary. Okay.
Yes.
These are the ones, right? I'm just going to stop the sharing. Oh no, sorry. Stop the sharing.
Invece, by the way, is something that you add, for instance, by the way, you.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you very much.
For instance, sometimes I use by the way when I want to change the subject. Is it correct?
It's like tuttavia?
Yes. Yeah, tuttavia. Yes.
Okay. Oh, finally.
Right. Okay. Now, sorry, I'm just trying to find out what I'm trying to find something here. Not stop video. Nope. It's not sharing. Nope.
So have a nice evening, everybody.
Yeah. Okay. Right.